welcome to This Day for this Monday, August 15th. I'm Paul Ortiz, filling in for a vacationing Lisa Hart for today and tomorrow, so thanks for joining us on our program. Well, today on our program, we'll be talking to the president of United Mutual, and that is Anthony Liberatore. And today our subject is going to be the committee process. So we'll learn a little bit about how United Mutual deals with committees and how that actually gets to the board, which they meet on the second Tuesday of each month and have that discussion. And we have no meetings for today, so we're going to go ahead and take you outside and tell you about the weather. It's going to be another warm week. We had a very warm weekend and some humidity, especially throughout Southern California. Many events pretty warm. We happened to be at the Great Park, and a lot of umbrellas out there just trying to get some shade. But all week we're going to have temperatures into the high 80s, and then temperatures pretty warm overnight there in the high 60s as well. You can see how even on Friday the temperature is still going to be 88 degrees. So looks like it's going to be a pretty warm week. For the rest of the week, be sure and wear your sunblock when you get out there and go for a walk or play some tennis or even play some golf out here in our community. Let's take a look at that sunrise and sunset. This is from Cole Young, beautiful Big Bear, California. A wonderful picture there, Cole, and looks like probably that early morning or maybe even that late afternoon time. Sunrise this morning was at 6:14 a.m. and our sunset is at 7:36 p.m. And you'll notice that our sunsets are starting to, come a little bit earlier. So as the year progresses, those sunsets will be probably closer to that 7 o'clock range. Give us an email if you can. Send it to Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. We'd love to share some wonderful pictures that you have, not only in the community, but if you have some wonderful vacation photos that you might have taken throughout your travels, be sure and send them to us at Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. Well, we're going to be right back with the president of United Mutual, Anthony Liberatore, right after this.
Laguna Woods Dental Care, our goal is to serve and provide dental services to the residents of Laguna Woods. Dr. Mohsen Mahmood is currently specializing in senior dental care from USC Dental School and has been serving the Laguna Woods community for over 16 years. At Laguna Woods Dental, our top priority is your overall wellness, ensuring your current medications do not affect your oral health. We offer a convenient plan for $250 a year that includes exam, x-rays, and all types of cleanings are covered. Our office is located right outside of gate number 3. Come book your appointment today.
When a loved one requires ongoing assistance and attention, home-related care and caregiving become viable alternatives to an existence dependent upon hospitalization. Your home care provides thoughtful general care and assistance with the basic necessities of daily living, all within familiar surroundings.
Hello, I'm Kyle Warner, and I would love to talk to you about how we can help with your home care needs. Call me today.
Welcome to Balbina's Mexican Restaurant. Stop by and experience the most authentic Mexican food in the region. We are serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have a very extensive Mexican wine list from Valle de Guadalupe and the center of Mexico. Visit us for breakfast and lunch from 8 in the morning to 2 p.m. and for dinner from 5 to 9 p.m. Stop by on Wednesdays and enjoy with half off on all of our wines.
Hi, I'm Vince Ferragamo. I spent some of my best years as an NFL quarterback, but today I've got a new team, and we're helping seniors who spent their best years fighting for our country, defending our freedom, and informing the nation. Our hometown heroes need help. AgeWell Senior Services is their lifeline. Nonprofit AgeWell can do all of this because you care enough to give. Please join me in supporting AgeWell. Donate today.
Village Television presents Friday Films, only on Village Television. Fridays at 2 and 6 p.m. Foreign films, dramas, and comedies. Award-winning films, romance and mystery. Independent films. Every Friday, only on Village Television.
joining us this morning is the president of United Mutual, Anthony Liberatore. Thanks for joining us today on the program, Anthony.
Thanks for having me, Paul. It's good to see you again.
Now, you guys met last week, and that was your second Tuesday of the month, like your regular meeting.
Yeah.
It was a pretty long meeting, about 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it was long. But I'm really like to talk about the town hall we had Friday, just to reach out and thank the residents who took time out of the day to come to that. It was, and we had a really good presentation by the El Toro Water District.
Right.
And they came in for us. Like to thank them and thank the residents for showing up. And yes, our meeting Tuesday was very, very long.
Yeah. At your town hall, what kind of responses and what kind of feedback did you get from your members?
Well, right now, we passed out index cards, and I have the directors are going through those to kind of see if we can come up with some consistent message that was sent to us by the residents. And for the most part, we heard that they really enjoyed the presentation of the El Toro Water District because they were really thorough. And they talked about the whole Southwest water issue. You know, I don't hate to use, my granddaughter says, Pop, don't use the word problem, say issue. So.
Yeah, issues, right.
And they went, I mean, it was an amazing presentation.
Yeah. Well, those issues are happening throughout the world, and especially here in Southern California with our drought. So we'll see how we can manage to save water, especially in our community.
Yeah, it's really important, and I can't brag enough about what a good presentation they made for us in United.
Yeah. Well, speaking of presentations, today we want to talk about the committee process. You know, that's where a lot of the work is done. So it's important that the residents have the feedback and be able to attend many of these committee meetings.
Yeah, you know, we talked about last time with Lisa that David Sterling and Robert's Rules they allow boards to have committees of 1 or 2 people and more than 1 or 2 committees to consider, to investigate and take action on subjects or issues, to weed through that, and then they decide what they're going to pass on up to the board. And this helps the board to get more work done because of the work of the committee. So it's really, really important.
Now, a lot of the work, like you said, is done at the committee process, and then that committee, no matter if it's landscape or maintenance and construction or whatever it might be, like you said, that's where all the work is being done. Now, once the committee either usually approves a certain process, that goes to the board for the following month to have a discussion, or is it pretty much, if the committee approves a project, does the board usually go along with that?
Well, not necessarily. What happens when the committee comes up with a recommendation for action that goes to the board? It usually appears on what we call the consent calendar. And the consent calendar, in Robert's Rules and in David Sterling, the consent calendar represents work of the committees. It's already been done. And it may, the board may approve the consent calendar with one fell swoop. But in our case, our directors appoint me as the chair to go through those things because they have the ability to take those things off the consent calendar, put them into what we call unfinished business, or make a motion to refer them back to the committee for further research. So some people think that the consent calendar should be approved
just
in one fell
automatically,
swoop.
right?
But if you look at Robert's Rules, it says here that the assemblies that have heavy workloads may find a consent calendar useful, a useful tool for disposing of such items.
Right.
But still, the board of directors have the say.
Right.
Not necessarily me. And I try to follow the direction of the board. And so the consent calendar, we can approve all those items, and our consent calendar is pretty full most of the time. And some directors want to pull things off, and they have the right to do that. So can't usually we don't approve the consent calendar one fell swoop. And I have an instance where a committee rejected some question, and this one director wanted to go around the committee and bring it to the board anyway, which would defeat the whole logic and purpose of a committee.
Right.
And when a committee wrote something down, for lack of a better word, it's dead, you know? And don't tie up the board with that, because the whole idea of committee is to help the board do more work.
Right. Yeah, I remember many years ago, before the consent calendar, we spent a lot of our time covering meetings, and it would be, say, for example, landscaping. If Manor 213C had issues with landscaping, they would sit and basically have the committee meeting during their regular board meeting, because every issue was brought up. And luckily the consent calendar became a normal process, and that actually sped up the meeting quite a bit. But like you said, there are instances where the board would like to have another look at some of these things.
Our directors are very, very into their jobs or their mission, and they want the opportunity to look things over and say, nah, let's reconsider that, or let's bring it back. Now that reminds me too, we have in Robert's Rules, there's something called a motion to reconsider. And for people at home or listening in, I advise them to look in the new edition of Robert's Rules at 12. And section 37 goes into this whole thing of reconsidering a motion. It's a uniquely American motion, and it's very detailed, but it goes into the characteristics, when it can be used, when it can be abused. And so it has nothing to do with the committee recommendations. And so that's another issue. That was something, I know a lot of people, directors, is something they're pushing goes down, they want to keep up with it.
Yeah.
But again, the consent calendar and committee work is trying to get the board to accomplish more work.
Right.
You know, and that's what it's for.
And each year too, as the president of a board, United Mutual, the chairs of those committees are selected by you after discussion amongst all your former your directors as well that are on the board.
That's right. Some presidents will go to the boards with a list of recommendations for committee. I chose not to do it that way. I chose to go to the prep meetings, our agenda prep meetings, and go around the board so that all the directors have a piece, and we talk about the committees and they agree. Because even though can come up with a list of committees, the board of directors can say no. The final decision, if you read Robert's Rules and David Sterling, the final decision on committee assignments belongs to the board, not to the president.
Right.
So I chose to go around the board and try to get it done, you know, because then all 11 of us have a piece, own a piece of that committee assignment.
And it's more of a discussion, because a lot of times what we've seen is if someone had a particular expertise in a profession, financial advisor or something like that, they're usually involved in the finance committee or something like that. And that's where that discussion and where that expertise can be discussed and then assigned to that particular committee.
Yeah, that's correct. And that's what we try to take advantage of, the skills that directors bring to the table. And then, of course, my job as the current president of United is to try to create a consensus among the directors, because that's the way you get things done.
Right.
And you get like a feeling of satisfaction that you've really done something, you know?
Yeah. Now, you just met, so you meet on the second Tuesday of each month. That's at 9:30 right here in the boardroom. You also have your United Meet the Candidates that's going to be aired here on Village Television this week.
Right, I think it's Friday.
It's going to be Friday at 12:30.
Yes,
so how many seats do you have available for your next board?
We have 3 seats available, and I've been told we have 4 candidates for it. And so and I hope the people at home will join in and listen to that, because we represent them,
right.
You know, and they should have an idea what they're looking for in directors.
Right. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, this morning, and very important information, especially about the committee process. And we want to encourage our viewers to be sure and watch On Friday at 12:30, right here, live from Village Television, right here in your boardroom, we will be bringing you those United Meet the Candidates statements and present that to you right here on Village Television. Thanks again for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Paul. Take care.
You bet. That's Anthony Liberatore. He's the president of United Mutual, and they do meet on the second Tuesday of each month. We'll be back with more of our program right after this.
M Dental Implant Center wants to give you something to smile about. Get our next generation one-day implants with the best deal we've ever offered. Take $2,500 off, plus an exam, CT scan, and x-rays for free. That's a $4,000 value. Our next generation implants are stronger and more natural looking than anything else available. See the difference with a free virtual consultation. Call 800-4M Dental now to leave your embarrassing teeth in the past with our special offer.
Your smile again with 4M.
Welcome back. We have Paula Gertich here, who's here on behalf of Emeritus, and finally they've got classes locally. Well, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. I'm so excited to be here and to share the good news that we are back in person.
Wonderful.
For Emeritus, and also online for those students that prefer to stay online. So we kind of have both for them now.
Oh, I think it's great, and I think it's nice that people will be able to get together again in a group setting and have the hands-on, right?
Yes.
Not necessarily just one-on-one, but at least have the hands-on capability of having you help them when they need the help,
Yes.
which is great. So, Paula, let's learn a little bit about you. You've been doing this for a really long time.
Yes, I have 40 plus years, and this is my passion, though, is balance and mobility. Throughout my exercise classes through the years, I noticed that when older adults fall, it takes them a very long time to recover, and sometimes they don't recover to their independent lifestyle. So I really had an interest in prevention. So that's why I'm offering and teaching the balance and mobility classes so that we can prevent any falls so they can continue to do the things they love to do and be as independent as possible.
Well, falling, and if you look at what we've got on the screen here, 1 out of 4 adults will fall each year. Well, that's kind of a lot.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you look around the room you're in at home, if there's 4 of you there, 1 of you is going to fall. And then once you do fall, your chances to fall again is doubled, and so on and so forth. So prevention is the key. And a lot of times we do things that we are actually doing to ourselves, like wearing the wrong shoes, not paying attention, rushing, a lot of bad habits that we create as we go through life.
It's true, and I myself, I have some stairs that I have to go down to my garage, and I have to remind myself before I take that first step is like, okay, go slow.
Yes.
Because when we rush during anything, we forget things or we'll do it incorrectly, like you said. So this is good news. I'm glad that you're able to get back to helping everybody with this. Now, one thing I think I've read about is that doing balance tests can kind of help you to have an overall look at your overall health. So is that something that you do in this class?
Yes, I absolutely do a lot of balance testing.
Okay.
And the nice thing is it's free. And if you were to contract out for my services, it would cost a pretty penny to do private.
Yes.
So this is offered free. All of my testing comes from Cal State Fullerton Center for Successful Aging, which is one of the leading institutes for research for falls for older adults. And that's where I have my credentials from them and my training, and therefore I'm able to use their testing on my students.
Oh, that's great. And like you said, you can't beat the price.
No, you can't beat the price.
Now let's talk about the class. It's going to be August 22nd through December 1st. Now, is that something that it pretty much once you sign up, you go what days and how often, and how does that work?
Yes, so it's it's August 22nd through actually December 21st, so it's 18 weeks.
I'm sorry, I don't think
That's
I said
okay.
it right. Okay.
18 weeks long. And this particular class is held over at the Florence Sylvester Memorial Center, so it's really close. And it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have a 9 o'clock to 9:50 and also a 10 o'clock. So these are the same times and days we were there pre-COVID, and we were packed. We had a wait list to come in, which I love to see. I don't like to turn anybody away, so I like to have a full class.
Is it in that big room that's over there?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
how many people can you actually fit?
Right now they're capping it at 45.
Okay.
But I always take, maybe 5 more.
Okay.
If need, I don't like to leave anybody on the wait list.
Exactly,
So right now we do have openings. We're not at 45 yet, so.
You will be.
But hopefully, yes, hopefully.
You will be after this. Well, and so if they want to participate, they do need to register, and that is at saddleback.edu/emeritus. So what is the name of the class, and what do they look for?
They're going to look for health and wellness.
Okay.
Make sure they're on the emeritus. They will have to fill out an application if they haven't taken a class in the past year.
Okay.
So make sure that they do the fillable applications, send that in or take a picture of it, and then they will get a student number. And once they get a student number, then they can go ahead on their My Site from the college and register. And those are the ticket numbers that they will put in to register. And they could take both classes. Some students came and
Do the whole thing.
Do the whole thing.
Okay.
So that's okay to take back to back if they've got the energy and want to do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Or if not, pick one of those times. And so that's something new this year. Is they used to be able to just walk in to the class, and I would provide the application and submit it to the college, so they didn't have to go online. But because we're in a post-COVID now, you have to be on the roster to enter the room, because part of the registration process is you need to put in your COVID vaccination information. So there's an extra step now.
Okay.
Otherwise, they cannot come in and join us because we don't know if they're vaccinated.
Right.
So it's a good thing, because if you're in person now, everybody that's in the class has been vaccinated.
Okay. Okay. And at this time, are masks required to participate in the class?
Right now, they're not. We follow the Saddleback College protocol and also the facilities. So we'll see where we're at August 22nd.
Okay. Yeah, we don't know what the things are going to look like. Okay, well, perfect. Well, are there any other tips that, I know that one thing that we did talk about offline was classes are available at other locations, but of course the senior center is the closest. But since you mentioned it could technically be full, what are some other close locations that they could participate?
Yes, you can go on the Emeritus website and they will show you which classes are full and which ones still have space in person and online. I do have an online class also, but that's full with 22 students on the wait list right now. So probably best to seek out a class that's open. I'm trying to think of closest facility might be over in Laguna Niguel, and one of those senior centers over there might still have openings. So,
all right, well, perfect. Well, of course, if anyone wants any information, they can always go to saddleback.edu/emeritus.
Yes.
You want to make sure you put emeritus in, because otherwise you'll be charged for the classes. And you don't want that.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, Paula, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good luck. I hope everybody shows up and has fun.
I do too. So come and join us. We have a lot of fun. It's a nice social time too. You meet very fun, kind, interesting students, and they build friendships from there, and they go to lunch afterwards. So it's not only about exercise, getting stronger, more flexible, reducing your risk for falls, but it's also social.
Exactly.
And so come on down and join us.
And our seniors like to be social.
Oh,
All
yes.
right.
Me too.
Thank you so much, Paula.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you would like to register for this class, I would do it right away because I'm sure other people are already on it. Go to saddleback.edu/emeritus and make sure that you reference the 2 ticket numbers that we had mentioned to you, which is 14005 and 13930. We'll be right back.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.
Well, it is Monday, so we're going to show you a wonderful movie this afternoon. That's going to be at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock this evening if you catch our dinner movie time. And that's going to be Broken Flowers. It stars Bill Murray. It runs about 106 minutes. It is rated R, so that's usually due to some language and some adult content. But this is when his latest girlfriend, played by Julie Delpy, leaves him. Retired computer magnate Don Johnston, Bill Murray, has no greater ambition than to sit around the house. So this is called Broken Flowers. Bill Murray, as you know, plays usually, very funny comedic roles, but he can always be on the serious side too, and has done some wonderful films throughout his career. So be sure and tune in to that. That's going to be at 2 o'clock and at 6 o'clock today. Let's go outside real quick and take a look at the weather. It's going to be a very warm day, especially as we approach lunchtime if you're watching our morning program. Temperatures are going to be in the high 80s for the rest of the week, and overnight temperatures will be in those high 60s as well. So a very warm week. Be sure and wear a hat and some sunblock when you're out there walking around our wonderful community. But warm temperatures for the next couple of days. Hopefully next week we'll see some cooling off, but we'll see how the rest of this week goes. So warm temperatures for the next couple of days here in Laguna Woods Village. Well, we thank you for joining us on our program today. We got a chance to talk to Anthony Liberatore of United Mutual. And then tomorrow, Siobhan Foster will be joining us. She is the CEO of VMS, and we'll be talking about some of the things that are happening right here in your community. I'm Paul Ortiz. Thanks for joining us today on our program, and we'll see you again next time.
We promise to meet you with an open heart and curious mind. To never have the answers before we've heard your story. Because you are not everyone else, and healthcare is not one size fits all. Highest performing hospital, top ranked physicians, 50 convenient locations, right here in Orange County. You, empowered by Hoag.
Hi, I'm John Bowser-Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha Na Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for Peace.